What's good, everyone? Today I'm popping in to put every Kanye album in tiers, like every white boy on YouTube. College Dropout, I'm gonna put that one in the S tier. I feel like it really has some of Kanye's best sampling, some great beats, some of his best rapping, fire straight through, not a single skip. It's a masterpiece. Then we have Late Registration, which I feel like is a great follow-up to this album. Some of his most introspective and emotional tracks at the time. And I feel like it's just different when it comes to rap. And I love it for that. I used to not like this album as much as I do now, but I'm gonna put it in the A tier. It's a great follow-up album. And then we have Graduation, which is such a feel-good album. You know, some of his most iconic tracks come up on here. Great sampling in an entirely different way than the College Dropout. And besides a couple songs, it's just amazing. A tier. And then this is where my opinion differs from everyone. Because, you know, Kanye is so polarizing and everyone has a different opinion. And I'm different than the other girls. And I'm putting 808 in the S tier. It's right behind me. Such a great display of emotion and one of the most influential albums ever. Everyone always likes to bring that up and then they're like, oh, it has all these flaws. But like for me, there's no flaws. It's flawless. You know, I feel like every song on here is just amazing. Some of my favorite pop rap crossover songs ever come up on here. Some of my favorite Kanye songs. I'm putting my hood up right now. And yeah, just such a great display of emotion. I love this album. Then we have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which is the most overrated album of all time. That was an over-exaggeration, but it's not a 10. You know, it starts off very strong. Some amazing songs, Dark Fantasy, Gorgeous, Monster, Power, and then it kind of just falls off towards the end for me. And I still think it's amazing. So I'm going to put it in the A tier, but it's not as great as some people make it out to seem. And then we have Watch the Throne, which didn't live up to what it was supposed to be. You know, of course I come back to No Church in the Wild, Otis, and the other one, but you know, besides a couple other songs, I rarely come back to this album, and it's really ancient sounding in parts. It's very much stuck in the time that it came out, and yeah, C tier. Then we have Cruel Summer, which I feel like doesn't really need to exist. I come back to maybe like Mercy, and that's pretty much it. D tier. It's barely even a Kanye album. Yeezus, you know, one of the most polarizing albums in mainstream hip-hop. Really popularized industrial rap. You know, obviously it's Death Grips inspired, but some amazing songs come up on here. You know, besides a few, this is an amazing track list. You know, On Sight, Black Skinhead, New Slaves. And yeah, it did a lot for mainstream hip-hop. And I just love Kanye going fucking crazy on this album. A tier. Again, I felt like I had to burp, but I did not. Now we have The Life of Pablo, which is a mess, but it's a beautiful mess. And, you know, you could say the track list is kind of bloated, but such amazing songs on here. Some of his most iconic recent tracks. You know, of course there's a few duds on there since it's like 20-song album, but, you know, it's a beautiful mess, and I love this album. You know, some could say it was Kanye's last best album. And then we have Ye, which some people don't like as much, some people love. For me, I really like 6 out of 7 of the songs on here. I hate All Mine, but those 6 songs that are great, I don't come back to a lot. They just don't stick with me as much as a lot of Kanye's other material. And so, you know, in that case, you know, it being a shorter album doesn't really work to its advantage. And I'm gonna throw that in the B tier, you know, still a solid album. But then we get into Kids See Ghosts, which, it being a shorter album, works to its advantage because, you know, fire straight through, no pun intended. And, you know, probably Kanye's most introspective work to date. Him and Cudi work so well on here. Some great flows and raps and beats on here. Fucking amazing. No skips. It's an S tier. It's a 10. No doubt a 10. Jesus is King, D tier. And then we have Donda, which is a bloated mess like the Life of Pablo. I don't like it as much, but still some quintessential, good word, Kanye songs on here. I'm gonna throw that in the B tier. It's Donda. I mean, can't really go wrong. And while I might not like it as much as some other people, and I might not like certain songs as much as other people, it's still a pretty great album. Still pretty solid for 2021 crazy psycho Kanye. And there you go, Kanye tier list. Please don't hate on me. Just kidding. Please drop a really negative comment. Die if you do. Sorry, I went kind of crazy there. I love you all. Have a beautiful day. Kisses, moi, moi. Kanye time. Adios.